Huh? Yes. Itu Zaira dan Jas. Raya tenang. Itu apa? Mana kok capsule itu నుంచి బయటకు వచ్చింది. సేవ్ రావాలంటే కంట్రోల్ 7 weeks.
Did my team give you anything? I'll tell you you don't have specific lunch breaks timings. మీరు at 2 to 4 మీకు ఎంగేజ్ స్టార్ట్ ఉంటాయి you know about it already aware of it. సో 2 to 4 నేను ఎవరిని ఎక్కడ పంపించాను మీ లంచ్ బ్రేక్ అంటే 1 to 2 లోపల వెళ్ళండి దట్టు పర్ ఈచ్ పర్సన్ 15 minutes ఏదైనా 15 minutes తీసుకోండి మీ స్ట్రెంత్ ఎక్కువ కాబట్టి 3 మెంబర్స్ 4 మెంబర్స్ వెళ్ళండి అంటే ఎట్ టైం కూడా వెళ్ళండి ఓకే 15 minutes ఏదో ఒక బ్రేక్ తీసుకొని యూ షుడ్ గో అండ్ కమ్ అండ్ మెయిన్ వైల్లో మీకు ఎప్పుడైనా బ్రేక్స్ కావాలంటే 5 minutes 10 minutes while going out facilitator you need to intimate me like you're going out okay and break time వచ్చి 15 minutes ఉంటుంది బట్ 2 to 4 లో మీ ప్రెజెంటేషన్లో ఇక్కడ ఉండాలి ఓకే అండ్ దట్స్ the timings right yeah you can take one just అది అప్పుడైనా కూడా 15 minutes బ్రేక్ తీసుకోండి you can take it
అదే అంతేనా ఇది 755 ఎఫ్ అని ఉంది కదా అక్కడ స్పేస్ ఇచ్చి ఎఫ్ అని ఉంటుందా అచ్చా
Don't use mobile phone. If you want to emergency call the battery contact harder for whatever.
Okay, guys, I think you have already seen the Unix introduction video. That is basically how Unix evolved over a time and what's the difference between Unix and Windows and how the first an interface to the kernel. So you have a set of commands that you right screen is the bash shell. So WD, which gives you a present working directory. Alright. Now if you need to see the help of PWD, just open the manual of PWD, man PWD. It will tell you what PWD is. It basically print the name of the current working directory. Then to get out of this one, press Q. So man is the most important command of Unix. Anytime if you don't know something, some command, just do a man on that. Alright, these three commands we have already discussed. CD is to change the directory, pwd is present working directory, ls-ltr is the list of the
ఛార్జింగ్ పెట్టుకున్నాను. నేను నైటే పెట్టినా అప్పుడే అయిపోయింది. ఏంటిది? అసలు ఇక్కడికన్నా ఇంటికి వేసుకుని పెట్టుకోండి.
execute quickly these directories. This is PD, we're at home encode IT currently, right? This is our path. Alright, CD, you can jump to any directory you want. Alright, let's say CD home encode IT, we are already there. Or CD temp,
You can go and come back to the
currently you are in temp directory, right? Or CD again home encode IT, like that. Alright, clear is a command to clear the terminal. Alright, whatever that you type in here, clear it, it's gone.
నేను ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ చేసిందా ఇది ఓ నేను ఇంకా అవి కూడా చేయలేదు చూస్తున్నా వీడియో చూసుకుంటా చేద్దామని ఫస్ట్ స్టార్టింగ్ అన్ని అవే చేసిన నేను ఆర్డర్ వైజ్ రావట్లేదు వీడియో చూసుకుంటా సార్ నాకు రావట్లేదు
Alright, now these are some of the commands that will tell you about the environment and around you. Usually when you log into a system, you want to know how many partitions are there in that system, just like a Windows system. What's the size of each of those partitions, or what's the amount of space left in, or what's the general directory structure. That's all these 5 commands. ID will give you the current user who is logged in. uname-a will give you the operating system type. Hostname will give you the name of your current system. df-h will give you the partitions or file systems, they are called. du-sk star will give you the sizes of all files and directories. If you remember, ls-l also gives the file sizes, but it cannot give directory sizes. du-sk is what gives you directory sizes. So I'm going to execute all these commands one after the other. ID, this is the current username that we use to log in encode IT. Alright, then go back. uname-a, uname-a. uname-a basically tells you operating system. This is the Linux operating system. Alright, it also tells you whether it's a 32-bit or 64-bit. All these are 32-bit, means if you see i686, i386, that means 32-bit. If it is a 64-bit operating system, you will see x86_64 like this, x86_64. This is what you will see in all real-time systems. Alright, the next command, hostname df-h du-sk. Hostname, the third command, the hostname of this server is encode server 99. Alright, that's the hostname of this server. Then df-h, this will give you the partitions CDE. Now you're going to see the partitions here. These are the partitions right side. Slash is a partition, slash boot is a partition, slash dev is a partition. We're not interested too much in this one. What we are interested in is the available and the percentage used. You should have enough available memory. If you see it here, this says about 17 GB available memory, which is nice. Alright, and it's around 25% fill, means 75% is free. So you should have enough free space left in. Usually you look at this thing, if you see that there is no space left on the device, kind of errors. You want to see this is not 100%. If it is 100% used, it means everything is full. It should have enough available space. Alright, the next command du-sk star will tell you what's the size of each of the directories. So if you see in here, these are the files and directories in it, and du-sk star will give you about everything. A.out is 0 bytes, BA is 8 bytes, kilobytes, these are all kilobytes. Remember, SK, you have said summary in kilobytes, that's what SK means. So desktop is 4 kilobytes, Oracle directory is many kilobytes, 655 MB this is. Alright, then WL install files again is around, take 3 digits, it will be MB, take 3 more, it will be in GB. So you have about 2 GB size WL. Install files. So you can find the size of the files only by du-sk. If you use ls-ltr, see this one, even though WL install files is around 2 GB, this is around 2 GB, it still shows you 4096 bytes only. All the directories are always 4096 in ls-ltr. So ls-ltr, you cannot find the size of the directories. You should use it only for finding the size of the files. Alright, those are some of the commands for survival. So just execute all these commands as you see them. The next set of commands are to create files. Remember, we are only looking at a very basic commands. Alright, we'll get into the advanced ones later. So the first thing I'm going to do is to create a directory. Then we will create a file and we add content to that file. So mkdir d1 is for creation of directory with a name d1. Cat redirection f1, this is called redirection, not greater than. So cat redirection f1 will create a file f1. Cat double redirection f1 will add content to f1. So here, let's say I'm creating a directory mkdir d1. That's a directory created. Even before that, let me say I'm creating a directory mkdir unix. So now look at the directories. So I have Unix directory also here.
Raju.
నీకు బదులు సార్ రాజు రాసిన
Now let's get into that directory. Do a cd to Unix directory. Cd Unix. There's nothing in Unix. Now create a directory mkdir d1. Now there is a directory d1. The same way, cat redirection f1. This has opened file f1 for writing. So I'm going to enter some content into it. Line 1, line 2, line 3. Control D to close the session. Now I want to see the contents of f1. Cat f1. So now I can see. So cat redirection f1 will overwrite f1 if it already exists. If it is not there, it will create it. Cat f1 will show you the contents of f1. Alright, now if you want to add some more lines to the same file, cat double redirection F1, let's add line 4, line 5, line 6, control D to end it. Now if you do a cat F1, you will see all the lines, line 1, line 2, line 3, 4, 5, 6. So a cat command on any file
స్టార్టింగ్ D1 రావచ్చు. ఇప్పుడు వెళ్ళే మళ్ళీ D1 వస్తుంది. NKDIR D1 కొట్టింది. వెళ్ళే సెంటర్ D1 వచ్చింది. క్యాట్ ఏది తీసుకున్నాయి కదా. చేసి
See, while uploading the videos to YouTube, keep them in public, okay, not in private mode. Public mode లో పెట్టాలి.
క్యాట్ F1 మళ్ళీ ఇక్కడ F3 ఇచ్చినావు అంటే ఓవర్ రైట్ చేస్తున్నావు F1 మళ్ళీ క్యాట్ F1 కొట్టేసి
simply pumps all the data onto the screen. So you will see everything onto the screen. Alright, so that's how you create a simple file and a simple directory, and you add content to that file and directory. These are some of the important commands on files. So you will see there's a copy command, there is a link command, there is a move command MB, there is a remove command. Alright, so copy F1 to F2, it will copy file 1 to file 2. This is making a copy. Link command, we'll talk about link command at a later stage, leave it for now. Move command is renaming, so F1 will be renamed as F2. Then rm command, rm file 1, or if you want to remove a directory, rm-rf, the directory name. So I'm going to execute copy, move and remove commands. We'll talk about link command later. So copy, now I am currently at what directory? Home and code IT Unix directory. Alright, this is my directory. Alright, if I do ls-ltr, I can see D1 is a directory. Alright, with a D, F1 is a file. So now I want to copy F1 to F2. Now remember, Unix is case sensitive, means capital letters are different, small letters are different. So F1 is different and F1 small capital letters is different. So let's say line 10 we have, line 11 we have control D. Cat F1 is different, cat F1 is different. So both the files are there here. This is capital F1, this is small f1. So I'm going to remove the small f1, rm f1. Now if you see, it's gone, f1 is gone. Now take a copy command, copy f1 to f2. All commands are always in small letters. So ls-ltr, we made a copy of f1 to f2. If you see f2, cat f2, you will see the same lines. If you see cat f1, you will see the same lines. Alright, that's for copying a command. Now rename, let's say I want to rename f1 to f3. Alright, so f1 will be gone and renamed as f3. Now we'll have f3 and f2. We did not touch f2. Alright, so the same way, copy, move commands are done, then remove command. Alright, so let's do a remove of f2. That's the file name, small letters. f2 is gone. The same way, rm-rf d1 directory, you have to add -rf. So if you want to remove directory, it's d1. Now you have removed everything, there's nothing in this directory.
Saya sebenarnya kalau yang boleh otomatis ke lain.
On accept F3. So you are currently in home and code IT Unix. DLSF only F3. Now let's create another directory mkdir d1 again. Alright, so now if you say you have d1 and f3, that's for creation of copying of files, renaming the files, removing the files and directories. Alright, then whenever you are creating a script, you need to give permission to the script. So here, let's say if you see f3 file, this does not have execute permissions. Alright, we want to give execute permissions to f3. So what you do, chmod 755 f3. Now if you check the permissions, now if you see, you have x here. X is alright, we want to give execute permissions to f3. So what you do, chmod 755 f3. Now if you check the permissions, now if you see, you have x here. X is execute permissions which were not there earlier. Now you have x permissions. Earlier it was not there. So this is how you give permissions to Unix scripts. We are going to write a lot of scripts at a later point of time. Whenever you see that the script does not have permissions error, you are going to add 755 to that script. Alright, so let's move on to the next one. Now, these commands will tell you about the contents in the file and directory. Now, what we have done so far is we have created a file and directory. Then we have copied the files. We have renamed the files using move command. We have removed the files and directories using rm. But we never really looked inside a file. And these commands will let you look inside a file. Look at this one. wc-f1 will give you the word count inside the file. It will give you the total number of words, lines, and pages also. For example, wc-l f3. If you take it, it has 2 lines. That is the number of lines. If you see wc, I think the lines should be enough. If you don't give -l, if you simply give wc f3, it will tell you the words. These are the total number of words. These are lines. These are 14 characters, words, lines. So 2 lines are there. In 2 lines, 2 words are there. Total 14 characters are there. You can actually see it in f3. So you have 2 lines, line 1 and line 2. 2 words, only each line has only 1 word, and 14 characters. So if you see that 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6, 6 and 6 12. The enter command that we usually enter towards the end will also be treated as a character. So 14.
ఇంటో అక్క ఇది సేమ్ అదే వర్డ్ కౌంట్ వచ్చేది వర్డ్ కౌంట్ డబ్ల్యూసిఎఫ్ నువ్వు చేయలేక వర్డ్ కౌంట్ చేయలేదు
in total characters in parallel. the, the word count inside the file, it will give you the total number of words, lines, and pages also. For example, wc-l f3, if you take it, it has 2 lines. That is the number of lines. If you see wc, I think the lines should be enough. If you don't give -l, if you simply give wc f3, it will tell you the words. These are the total number of words. These are lines. These are 14 characters, words, lines. So 2 lines are there. In 2 lines, 2 words are there. Total 14 characters are there. You can actually see it in F3. So you have 2 lines, line 1 and line 2. 2 words, only each line has only 1 word, and 14 characters. So if you see that 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6, 6 and 6 12. The enter command that we usually enter towards the end will also be treated as a character. So 14 total. Alright, we're not interested in words and characters. We're interested in the number of lines in a file. Alright, after that, head will tell you the head of a file, the first 10 lines of a file. Tail will show you the last 10 lines of a file. Tail FNF is a continuous monitoring. For now, you don't require it. We will talk about tail FNF. You will see the usage of tail FNF in the WebLogic, so don't worry about it at this point. Less command opens a file in a browser.
సమస్య నేను ముందే చెప్పాను కదా ఈసారికి ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేయండి ఛానల్ ఇక్కడ ఎవరికి టెక్నికల్ ఏం తెలియదు సార్ ఇస్ ద ఓన్లీ టెక్నికల్ ప్లీజ్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ స్క్రీన్ గైడ్లో చెప్పాను కదా స్క్రీన్ షాట్ పెట్టి స్క్రీన్ షాట్ ఏదైనా ఫార్మాట్లో పెట్టి పెట్టండి
Browsable window, which means, so here let's quickly go ahead and create a big file cat f3. I'm going to add contents to f3. Let's say line 12, line 13, line 14, line 15, line 16, line 17, line 18, line 19, line 20. Alright, now f3 is a big file. Now let's cat f3, see this one, cat f3 will show the contents. We are adding it to a file f4. Now if you execute the same command 2 or 3 times, f4 will be a big file, because double redirection adds content to the existing. Now if you see cat f4, it's a big file. And how many lines we have? wc-l f4, we have 165 lines. Alright, now I want to see the first 10 lines. Head f4, it will show me the first 10 lines. The same way tail f4, it will show me the last 10 lines. Alright,
స్టార్టింగ్ నుంచి
First and last lines. The advanced variations of these commands. We'll see later. So we can see top of the file, bottom of the file, and continuously a file. We'll talk about tailf and f later. Then less is a command that you're going to use very frequently. Less command will open a file for browsing. Means this is the first page of f4 file. These are the first 20 lines. We know f4 has around 160 lines. If you want to move forward, press space. If you keep pressing space, you will reach the end of the file. If you want to get out of the file, press Q. Alright, space. You need to press space bar. Alright, give it a try. Clear the file, less F4, press space bar till you reach the end, then press Q to exit. Alright, so you have exited. So less command will let you open a file and browse through the file. So these commands will show you the contents of a file. And the next command is to grep for any specific keyword in a file. For example, we have a file f1. Let me make a copy of f4 to f1. So I made a copy of f4 to f1. Now we have f1, f4 also. So if you see wc-l f1, we have the same 165 lines. Right, now let's going back to the command. We want to see all the lines in the file f1 where there is a keyword 1. Alright, wherever there is